Hello guys, and tonight it was really hot in Crimea, and no, not because of its beautiful subtropical climate ideal for resorts and tourism, and I do believe that soon when Crimea returns back to Ukraine, you will be able to experience its beautiful nature and culture. But tonight it was hot because of fires and explosions on Russian military objects. Unfortunately, they have packed this beautiful peninsula with evil military bases, and we have no other choice but destroy them. And tonight there was a series of explosions and, most importantly, long waves of detonation on one of the largest and closest to the front line Russian airfields in BELBEK near Sevastopol. But today is also marked by the assassination attempt on the Slovak Prime Minister Fico, who is not the greatest friend of Ukraine, but is a human being and deserves to live according to the God's plan. Only Putin does not, believe me, because Putin is on his direct contact with hell. So let me tell you more about these events from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective. My name is Anna, and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. Crimea will return to Ukraine, and I believe this will happen soon because of the symptoms, and they are very vivid. Kerch Bridge is very often closed, and the majority of Russian air defense systems on the peninsula are destroyed. If you remember that, just 2 days ago we have targeted a secret and very important one, Russian air defense system on Mount Patron in Crimea. And now it seems like a strategy, because 2 nights later we have targeted a number of military objects around Sevastopol, including a very big, very important airfield, BELBEK, which is really close to Sevastopol, filled with Russian aviation. It is not the first time that we destroy aircraft on the airfield, but as Russians return other new jets, we have no other choice but to clean our territory from these evil machines. And according to reports and videos in Telegram channels and other Russian publics, no, Russians are not media literate at all. They share lots of things, lots of videos. Not only we see objects on fire on that airfield, but we also hear reports about long waves, actually hours of detonation, which means mission accomplished successfully. And I hope that sometime really soon Crimea will be free from invaders, free from their bases and various supplies that they keep on the peninsula to back up front lines. This is actually vital for the liberation of mainland Ukraine too, and Crimea once again repeats us it was a mistake to not escalate after Putin's annexation of this beautiful land that belongs to Ukraine, Crimean Tatars, and all the other normal people around the world who want to travel, eat, learn, take photos, but not use it as a military base to target innocent people of not your country. Remember to subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity and spread more information about Ukraine. This is important. And this is important to discuss this assassination attempt on Fico, who is the Prime Minister of Slovakia for a very long period of time, with some pauses. And he was attacked by a 71-year-old and quite famous writer in Slovakia who was arrested. It seems to me that after the operation, Fico is feeling better, so we can actually discuss his personality. He is a former communist. And unfortunately, countries like Slovakia are still greatly under the influence of these parties. They didn't have lustration, and it seems to me quite recently they had Communist Party in the parliament, and believe me, communism is evil. I know what I'm saying. I was born still in the Soviet Union, And I have memories of my family about that period, and even some of mine, very small, but these huge queues, empty shelves in the stores. And some of Ukrainian writers, for example, were executed in 1986, and that's the time when I was already alive. So communism was still very dangerous and toxic even at the end of 80s. So Fico was once accused or connected to the assassination of investigation journalist with his girlfriend. It was a huge scandal, and he disappeared from public life in Slovakia. There were a period of democratic parliament, and actually many people in Slovakia believed that he was gone forever, but he returned with the support of some Russian forces. And he was elected as a president, mainly using Russian narratives about brotherly nations, NATO interference, and so on. I have some friends in Slovakia who were not fans of these changes, and honestly, I rarely speak about that on the channel, but I am worried about Slovakia, about Hungary, because their present leaders demonstrate this very authoritarian approach, and they actually violate lots of laws and norms set in the European Union. And there were a number of situations when democratic EU leaders did not know how to react and what to do. And by letting these people remain at power, we actually pose great danger on these societies. Because when someone is at power for decades, it's not okay. And you know, I constantly repeat that. We had similar periods in Ukraine. We always reacted with protests. And of course, assassination is not a solution. It is a greater trouble for a country that may cause more chaos. I honestly think there is no Russian trace in it, but I am 100% confident Russia will use this attempt to accuse Ukraine or to try to cause chaos all around the world. It seems like it was an internal Slovak problem that resulted in such violent action that will definitely be prosecuted, because that's not the solution. And even with Putin, come on, guys, honestly, I do want to see him at court. I don't want to see him somewhere bad smelling in a bunker. I'm trying to be YouTube sensitive. So it's always good when people see mistakes and crimes of their so-called leaders and learn on them and change their societies. We see this huge change, progress, and actually Germany is now an exemplary country for the respect of diversity and different people, different opinions. And this is because of these huge changes that happened to the society, which is now once again an example of democracy. So we will be observing. I'm happy that President Zelensky spoke on this case, and we all feel sorry, because once again, human life is very precious. Unfortunately, Russians don't understand that. Some other evil regimes don't understand that, but we do. And with each war day, we understand that like more and more. So I hope there will be a solution, a democratic solution for all of these problems, but still we don't have to be over-optimistic about some EU countries that are under great influence of authoritarian leaders. If I have some subscribers from Hungary, from Slovakia, it's really interesting for me to hear your opinion. Of course, you don't have to say everything, but if you're free to share, do that in comments. And other subscribers, do you notice some dangerous, democracy-threatening things in your countries? If you are ready, please share. Thank you for your support. Remember to join me on Instagram. I'm active there. Also on X, Threads, and Discord. We have a beautiful merch shop with lots of products that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. And thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons, and supporting more of the initiatives and helping me write and joining as sponsors. This is a blessing, and I'm very grateful to all of you. But I am also very grateful for all the conversations that you hold, for all the work that you do to persuade those who doubt and to remain united. Slava Ukraini!